Hey, aloha everybody, Eric West here, HawaiiRealEstate.org. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new, I'm all about teaching you everything there is to know about this beautiful place called Hawaii. Specifically Maui, Maui no Kaoi, as you know. But you just can't find in the listing. Not that there's many listings anymore, but hey, if there were some listings, I'm the guy that teaches you all the stuff that you really need to know about that listing, because let's face it, the marketing material doesn't always have like what you really care about. So that's where I come in, hopefully. So anyway, if you're ever in the market, obviously love to be your guy. This video is entitled Maui Oceanfront Homes, because in my opinion, that is the quintessential real estate offering on Maui. Whether it's an oceanfront condo or an oceanfront home, let's face it, that's where you want to be, or eventually, right? Maybe you can't afford it today, but certainly condos are pretty much the best way to get your foot in the door on an oceanfront property, and then maybe someday you sell it and bump up to an oceanfront home, or just start out with an oceanfront home right away. Where am I located right now? I'm located here in beautiful South Maui, known as Kihei, at Kalama Park, right next to Halama Street. I'm going to jump on my little buddy here. I'm going to show you Halama Street. If you've been in the market, you know there's two oceanfront homes on the market right there currently, and Halama Street is one of those just perfection locations of all time. And but first, I just want to wish everyone a happy new year. It's been a little while since I did a live, took a little bit of time off, not from doing real estate, because there is no time off from real estate, but just some time off from YouTube, not for any particular reason, just, just a little break, just to kind of recenter, refocus, and figure out what we're doing in 2022. So hopefully you are going to have an amazing 2022. You're going to come here to Hawaii and vacation, or maybe purchase that beautiful dream home or condo. And of course, if you ever are in the market, I'd love to be your guy. So enough blatant self-promotion, but hey, I truly am so thankful for you guys for watching the channel, for being a part of what we've experienced here with the Maui Fix, and showing you what's going on here on Maui, and hopefully bringing you a little bit of warmth, because right now we are in the throes of winter. It is cold, but it's nice and warm here. Last night, the overnight low, I think, was like 62, which is like, oh my gosh, we had to close the windows. But certainly one of my favorite things in the whole world is to spend winter on this place, on this spot. Why? Because we get the beautiful swells. The weather is like literally pristine. It's amazing. My favorite time of year to be here is in the wintertime. Whereas where I moved from Colorado, that was sort of my least favorite time to be in Colorado, or anywhere else, quite frankly, in northern hemisphere. But real quick, guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you Halama Street real quick, but I'm going to give you a quick orientation and just want you to see what's going on here. Believe it or not, it just rained, if you can believe that, in Kihei. Like, it never rains in Kihei. There's a beautiful shot of the summit of Haleakala from the ocean. So yeah, we get one thing I love about Hawaii, we have the ocean and we have the mountains, right? That beautiful combination in Hawaii that you don't get very often. I used to go to the Caribbean. The first time I went there, I'd been to Maui like, a bunch of times, and first time I went to the Caribbean, I'm like, hey, where's all those big, beautiful green mountains at? And guess what? There are none. It's just one big flat pile of gravel in the middle of the Caribbean with no waves. So I'm like, okay, let me get this straight. The Caribbean has no waves and no mountains. Huh. No thanks. So anyway, right there I'm looking at the beautiful West Maui Mountains. Those are the windmills, of course, and the iPhone 12 is just doing its beautiful thing, along with some good 5G, 4G, 3G, whatever G. What's up, G? So, beautiful day here, man. Even when it rains, it's beautiful. And you guys can tell I haven't gone live in a while, because I'm kind of like a little lost for words. Like, what do I talk about on these darn things? I'll tell you one thing I do, though. I do, right there. I jump on my little buddy right here. There's my guy, my one wheel. Huh? Love that thing. And by the way, man, shout out to all you realtors that are advertising on my channel now before the videos go up. That's awesome, man. You know what they say, man. Imitation's the highest form of flattery, but I want to see you guys get on these one wheels, man. Come on, let's go. You can't just do a real estate channel and like risk all. I mean, you got to get on the one wheel and show the people the properties, right? Don't walk around and stomp and go do all that stuff. That's so amateur. But anyway, jump on your one wheel. Matter of fact, that's what makes it fun. And to me, that is what life is all about. So if you're thinking about moving to Maui, chances are you're in the same frame of mind I am, which is what? It's time to have some fun, right? Life is way too serious with all the working and all the serious stuff you got to do. So by the time you come down here, it's time to start acting like a teenager again. That's what I think, anyway. More responsible, restrained, sophisticated teenager, but nonetheless, someone that's looking to relive their youth a little bit, get out there, have some fun, exercise, year-round good weather, try a new hobby, whether it's getting a one wheel or maybe you're going to start up some kiting or some stand-up paddle boarding or just regular prone surfing. We can do a little snorkeling. How about some scuba diving? We got spear fishing, we got hiking, we got mountain biking, we got road biking. You just start becoming like a triathlete and start, it's one of the coolest things. When I moved here, I was actually a triathlete, and I was like, how cool, you can come here and you can train at altitude up at Haleakala. How cool is that, man? What? That's right, get in the shape of your life right here, right now. That's right, the second half of your life, I think you should be in better shape than the first half. That's just my personal opinion, and it is possible. You can look better at 50 than you did at 25. Okay, sorry about that. I had to do a nice drop there. So here we are, guys, Halama Street. So this first house right here, I gotta start being quiet now. This is like a private neighborhood. 1816 Halama. This one's on the market right now. It's a great, great spot. It's almost like a Brady Bunch house. Kind of like little retro 70s action, but right on the water. Oh. Love that. And this street, I'm just telling you, is quiet, it's private, and it is all right on the ocean. And one thing you probably don't know is all of these neighborhoods that are oceanfront will have these beautiful little oceanfront access points. So you, as a tax-paying member of the public, can come down here and check it out. So I can show you real quick, sorry, I had the camera pointed the wrong way, what the ocean front is really like here at these various Halama Street homes. So here I'm just going to walk down real quick. The one wheel doesn't do great in that deep sand, but as you can see here, very private. So in other words, it's rock walled up here, and so if you own one of these homes, you can see you're very guarded from the public. Like the public's not going to be walking up around that corner right there. And same thing with this. As you can see, rock walls. Now there's some beach further down, but right here, this would be a very private oceanfront setting. So one thing you got to keep in mind, matter of fact, there was a very famous actress, I can't say her name because I'm under, what's it called, the NDA, but she was going to buy an oceanfront home from me, and she didn't realize that the beach, all the beaches in Maui are 100% public. So anyone, you can get to it, they're public. So she didn't like the fact that someone could walk right in front of her backyard. So, but if you have a rock wall like that, no problem. By the way, I forgot to mention this. In the link in the description, I have an article that I participated in for the Wall Street Journal talking about the surge in oceanfront home sales, specifically those over 10 million. So click the link in the description to check that out. They use some of my footage, if you will, which is pretty cool. And then of course, if you want to look at these homes that are on the market right now, you can go to www.mauioceanfrontforsale.com. mauioceanfrontforsale.com, and there's a link of that in this description as well. But I just wanted to give you just a quick peek down Halama. I've had a few people call me on that oceanfront home I just showed you, wanting to know what's the vibe like down here. Is it private? What's the protection from Kalama Park? The, you know, sort of the hedge, if you will. And then there's another oceanfront home down here for sale as well. So granted, all these are going to be in the multi millions, you know, starting at around 4. So that's not in everyone's price point, I get that. But, you know, you might have 2 or 3 friends and you all pitch in together for an oceanfront home. As a matter of fact, in my humble opinion, that is the way to approach some of the super high-end real estate on Maui. Is you might not have 4 million, but you might have 3 friends that have 1 million. And now you can all pitch in and use the house a quarter time throughout the year, a 1/4% of the year, right? I mean, that makes a ton of sense. Totally legal. They can't come back to you and say, oh, Airbnb and short-term rental is not allowed. No, you all 4 buy it. You have an undivided common interest in the whole property. Form up a little LLC. Bam! You got some oceanfront perfection happening in your life. And you're jumping in on this real estate market right now because guess what? We're just now getting back to the values of 05 and 06. I can prove that to you empirically by showing you the sales, the average dollar sales for oceanfront homes and condos on Maui back in 2005. We're just now getting back to those numbers. So we're going to double on this island in the next 5 to 10 years. That's my personal prediction. So anyway, a good way to hooey up, as they call it in Hawaii. Hooey up means group, kind of like your little group. You hooey up, buy yourself an oceanfront home. And don't forget where you got the idea. Hey man, I'm trying to help, man. I'm trying to think outside the box. In case you haven't figured it out, I'm kind of the outside of the box kind of thinker. It's kind of how I roll. I like this guy, man. He came down here. He's got his oceanfront home on Kihei, but then he's got sort of his out back, out west kind of entry post gate thing. I mean, that's cool. And he's got the covered, not the covered wagon. Well, it was a covered wagon at one point. Huh? You see everything in Hawaii, trust me. We are the great melting, mixing pot of everybody and everything. And it's all good. As long as you're living the aloha vibe, leave your attitude on the mainland, and preferably your COVID strains, and come on down. So this is another access point here. We actually passed another one up here. I'll go into that one, then we'll call it good. I don't want my lives to get too crazy long, because I know you guys have a limited attention span, because you got to get back to watching football and stoking the fire and putting on another log, the old Yuletide log or whatever they call it. Jack Frost is nipping at your nose. Who can be bothered with listening to doves cooing and the sounds and smells of 75-degree weather in the middle of January? I mean, who can be bothered with that, right? You got to get back to what's important, which is what? Survival. You guys are trying to survive. It's like, if you stayed outside overnight, you could possibly perish. If you stayed out night over here, you might have a dove poop on you. That's funny. Okay, so here's yet another entrance right here. See that? Shoreline access. I'm telling you, man, they're everywhere. So should we take a look real quick what it looks like over there? Okay, let's do that. Cute little hale right here. Huh? Imagine that thing hit the market, boy. That thing would sell in a heartbeat. So right now, guys, just a quick real estate update, just in case you've been under a rock somewhere. It's possible. I know there's a lot of rocks on the mainland. Real estate market has been pretty obnoxiously good here. Last year we sold over $4 billion in real estate. Usually we sell about $2 billion, so we doubled. Inventory for condos is down 85%. Inventory for homes is down 50-odd%. And if you want to score a property, like say for example, you're not like Mr. I got like $8 million to burn, because you know in the 5+ range there's not as much competition. But let's just say you're like a normal person, you want to spend 2 to 3 or under 1. You really need to have a good buyer's agent. And basically what a good buyer's agent would do for you is set you up on a search very specific with what you're looking for, price range, size range, and then the moment something hits the market, and preferably that search is on the MLS, because that'll be the quickest result, like bam, the minute it hits the market, we'll get notified, and then we run down to the listing. We don't run, I mean we don't walk, we run, and then we fire, aim, ready. And that's how we get it. And then we decide once it's under contract if we want to close on it. But seriously, you got to be quick, you got to be fast, because there's fierce competition, lots of pent-up demand, and having a good buyer's agent to help you do that, I think, is very critical. So let's take a real quick look at what it's like here at this particular spot. Again, we got some rock walls, and you can see where the beach kind of starts. Not way, but just right around, hang on a second. Gotta get these comments off the screen right there. Can you see that? So you can see that's where your sandy beach kind of starts right there. So again, the disadvantage is these people can't just walk out into a sandy beach, but the advantage is they have privacy, because there's not going to be some guy with like an iPhone staring. Oh, never mind. It'd be impossible really to infringe on these people's privacy, because these are all rock walls right here. So anyway, hopefully that helps. I would do a Maui fix tonight, however, and I might do that later, but unfortunately my gimbal just stopped working. There we go. Sorry about that. Okay. Whew, sorry about that, guys. My it's like my gimbal got epilepsy for a minute. It's like anyway, I don't know what I've been saying. I kind of forgot it all already. But thanks so much for tuning in, guys. I super appreciate it. I wanted to go live. I wanted to show you Kihei. I wanted to show you Halama Street. But most importantly, I want to let you know that if you are going to try to take advantage of this real estate market, which I think you should if you're thinking about it, because again, we're just now getting back to the prices of '05. I'd love to help you as a buyer's agent. Of course, if you're looking to sell anything on Maui, I'd love to be your listing agent. Love to help any way that I can, of course. But as always, thank you so much for watching the channel. Thanks for checking it out. I shall be back with sunsets, maybe some sunrises, maybe some drone, maybe some butterflies, unicorns, and of course those rainbows. You guys watch that that drone video I put out? That thing was pretty nuts, huh? Man, that Mavic 3 is unbelievable. And of course, if you haven't watched the Christmas video yet, we went out on Christmas Day and helped out some of the homeless. So thank you for all of you that have given to MauiFixHomeless.org. Super appreciate that. And wishing you all just a wonderful, happy new year. Things are already, you know, taking off like crazy, right? I mean, it's like, before you know it, it's going to be Christmas again. We got to watch the Halama street traffic. But anyway, guys, thank you so much. I appreciate it as always. I shall return. I don't know where, I don't know when, but I can promise you it'll be somewhere on the beautiful island of Maui and somewhere on the beautiful One Wheel, and hopefully avoiding any bad actors on the street. I need to get kicked out of Papa Kea again. I got to tell you, of all the things that ever happened to me, I don't know if you guys ever saw that video, but getting booted out of Papa Kea was really good for my real estate career, because I'm telling you, everybody I think noticed that, man. Papa Kea hasn't been revisited since, but someday I will go back. I have sold a few condos at Papa Kea, but it is amazing how you cruise around on a one wheel with a camera in your hand and all of a sudden you're like public enemy #1. It's like, what is up with that, people? Come on. Just trying to help, just trying to shout out the local business, help the homeless, show you guys what's going on Maui, help you kind of defrost and kind of get your bones back into that beautiful sensation of warmth. I don't know about you, but that's the whole reason I come to Maui, right? When I get off that airplane, that warm air hits you in the face, and it's just like, I feel 1,000 times better. Matter of fact, my dad came down here. He was on high blood pressure medication, had an oxygen breather in his nose, just felt like crap, basically. Moved here within a year, no more blood pressure medication, starts using the treadmill, no more oxygen, quit drinking. I mean, the guy is like living his second or third youth right now. It's crazy. So Maui has that effect on you. I don't know if it's, I don't know what it is, man. I think it has something to do with the salt, personally. The salt air, the salt in the ocean. I think we all need sodium. There's a chance we're sodium deficient. I don't know what it is, but there's just something about the air, the ocean, and maybe the lack of stress. I don't know. But there's just something magical that happens here. I have a client that calls it the magical molecules of Maui. I mean, she just like invented this alliteration of perfection, just like the magical molecules of Maui. And I totally agree with that. So if you do, love a thumbs up, love a share, love a shaka, yes sir. And if you're getting stoked for some Maui in your future, hit me in the comments and let me know what your game plan is. And certainly, if you're ever on the market, if you're ever on the market, if you're ever on the island and in the market, I'd love to hear from you guys. Love to check you out next time you're here. I shall return. Till next time, Eric West. I'm gonna leave you with this beautiful shot, yes sir, yes sir, yes sir, of the beautiful island of Ko'olave, Molokini. And I guarantee you it's going to be one heck of an amazing sunset down here in Kihei. I can just feel it in the air. I wish I could stick around, but I got to go back to the west side, because the west side is the best side. No, just kidding. South side's good too, man. Don't worry. I'm never going to trash the south side, you know, because you guys, you're good down here, man. I used to live down here. I lived in Kula. I lived in Kihei. I've lived everywhere, man. Okay. I've never lived in Kahului or Wailuku. I have to be honest. What can I say? All right, guys, till next time. I could just keep rapping, but I won't, because you're probably sitting there going, really, dude? Like, what are you talking about? It's like, I have no idea, but I'm having fun, and that's all that matters. Right? Someone give me a yes.